Ezekiel 3. I read from the Institute for Scripture Research, the ISR, because it takes a direct translation from Hebrew to English, Greek to English, and Aramaic to English. Yeah, thank you for the internet being so quick. Yah is short for Yahweh, Yahweh, Yod-He, Vod-He. Yah is the Elohim of the heavens and the earth, the first and the last and the only. Yah is an extremely jealous El. He doesn't even want the names of idols or mighty ones to come to our lips. And the letter J is about 600 years old. Well, the son of Elohim, Yehoshua, died on a stake for the sins of all of humanity more than 2,000 years ago. A direct translation from Hebrew to English, Yehoshua is Joshua. Ezekiel 3. And he said to me, Son of man, eat what you find, eat this scroll, go speak to the house of Israel. And I opened my mouth, and he fed me the scroll. And he said to me, Son of man, feed your stomach and fill your stomach with this scroll that I am giving you. And I ate it, and it was as sweet as honey in my mouth. And he said to me, Son of man, go to the house of Israel, and you shall speak to them with my words, for you are not sent to a people of foreign speech and of difficult language, but to the house of Israel. Not too many people of foreign speech and of different language, whose words you do not understand. If I had rather sent you to them, they would have listened to you. But the house of Israel is going to refuse to listen to you, for they refuse to listen to me. For all the house of Israel are hard of head and hard of heart. See, I shall make your face as hard as their faces, and your forehead as hard as their foreheads, like a adamant stone, harder than flint. I shall make your forehead. Do not be afraid of them, nor be discouraged at their looks, for they are a rebellious house. And he said to me, Son of man, receive into your heart all my words that I speak to you, and hear with your ears, and come to the exiles, to the children of your people, and speak to them, and say to them, Thus said the Master Yahweh, whether they hear or whether they refuse. And the Spirit lifted me up, and behind me I heard the sound of a great rumbling voice. Blessed is the esteem of Yahweh from his place, and the sound of the wings of the living creatures touching one another, and the sound of the wheels beside them, and the sound of a great rushing. And the Spirit lifted me and took me away, and I went in bitterness in the heat of my spirit, while the hand of Yahweh was strong upon me. And I came into the exiles of Tel Abib. Tel is T-E with a half a check mark, L, and then Abib is A-B with a line underneath of it, I-B with a line underneath it, which Abib, I believe is Nisan, the month Nisan, Nissan. It's now currently spelled Nisan. Not much of a difference. Who were dwelling by the river Kebar, and I sat where they were sitting, and sat there stunned among them 7 days. And it came to be at the end of 7 days that the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Son of man, I have made you a watchman for the house of Israel, and you shall hear the word from my mouth, and shall warn them from me. When I say to the wrong, you shall certainly die, and you have not warned him, nor spoken to warn the wrong from his wrong way, to save his life, that same wrong man shall die in his crookedness, and the blood I require at your hand. But if you have warned the wrong, and he does not turn from his wrong, nor from his wrong way, he shall certainly die. He shall die in his crookedness, and you have delivered your being. And when a righteous one turns from his righteousness and shall do unrighteousness, then I have put a stumbling block before him. He shall die, because you did not warn him. He shall die in his sin, and his righteousness which he has done is not remembered, and his blood I require at your hand. But if you have warned the righteous one that the righteous one should not sin, and he did not sin, he shall certainly live, because he has been warned, and you have delivered your being. And the hand of YahWeh came upon me there, and he said to me, Arise, go out into the plain, so that I might speak to you there. So I got up and went out into the plain, and see, the esteem of YahWeh stood there, like the steam which I saw by the river Kabar, and I fell on my face, and the Spirit entered me, and set me on my feet, and spoke with me, and said to me, Go shut yourself inside your house. And you, O son of man, see, they shall put cords on you, and bind you with them, so that you do not go out in their midst. And I make your tongue stick to the roof of your mouth, so that you shall be dumb, and not be a reprover to them, for they are a rebellious house. But when I speak with you, I open your mouth, and you shall say to them, Thus said the Master YahWeh, he who hears, let him hear, and he who refuses, let him refuse, for they are a rebellious house.